I'm here with head basketball coach Dean Jaderston as we get ready to start the 2010 season, opening up the home schedule with an exhibition tonight against Kansas State Salina. We look at your team with returners from last year. I see about what I would say is five key returners. I don't know if you'd agree or not, in Trent Stutzman, Adam Brown, Kenny McGrath, Matt Bartlett, and Zach Goodrich. You want to go over each one of those individually and say a little about them?
Sure. I guess the person we start with is Zach Goodrich, and he's kind of probably the biggest story right now with where we're at. Had surgery this Thursday on his hand, and will be out anywhere from 6 to 10 weeks. In best case scenario, we'll get him back for conference play. Worst case scenario, it won't be till the first of the year. And Zach's been the guy that's made us go for the last 2 years. He's our high energy, he's our scorer, he's our leader. And so right now we're trying to figure out, without him, how do we play and how do we find our identity, which at this time of the year is maybe not completely horrible. We've been relying a lot on him in this preseason, so to have the opportunity to have some other players step up, we could be a lot better when it's all said and done. Cody's a returning starter from 2 years ago. Had a red shirt last year and came back a lot bigger, a lot stronger, and we'll look for him to step in that gap. That's left by Zach a little bit up front. Kenny McGrath is our senior. He's going to help anchor that front line. He played probably his best basketball the last 6 or 8 games of the season last year, and is going to give us a real physical presence up front. Let me go through the list. Adam Brown has been working very hard, probably our most athletic player. Gives us an explosiveness and can hit the offensive boards very well. Matt Bartlett had his first practice yesterday, broke his back, fractured a vertebrae back in September, and is now just starting to go full speed, full contact. He'll play limited minutes tonight, and we're hoping that in the next 2 weeks we can get him into some decent shape. He'll add a lot. He can shoot the ball, he can play inside, he's very strong with the ball. The last, I think, 10 games last year that he played, he was averaging 9 and 9 as a freshman, so we're hoping that he'll get back to that form pretty quickly. Trent Stutzman had knee surgery on both knees back in March and April. Really started going full speed about 2 weeks ago as well. So you're getting a theme here of a lot of injuries. Guys getting healthy at about the right time, but we don't know yet what kind of pounding his knees will take over the course of the season. He's our best deep ball threat. He can really shoot it, and we're looking for him to help stretch the defense. One of the guys, a key returner, started a lot of games for us last year, was Zach Poole, and gives us a real strong defensive presence and can shoot the ball a little bit. He's coming off a shoulder injury, and again, he also had his first practice live yesterday, so he'll be limited minutes early on. The reality is we've got really 4 key starters or potential starters that are all hurt, and it's given us a chance to see some of our new guys, some of our bigs that may not have got as many minutes before, and some of our guards that may not have got as many minutes before. We're going to get to see them early in these games and see what kind of development they can have.
And speaking of newcomers, which of those newcomers have started to step up in practice and look to threat for playing time?
Well, Raheem Odoms is going to start for us at the point, a very strong physical point guard, not the quick jitterbug that Zach Goodrich is, but a real strong player with the ball. He's going to get quite a bit of time for us this year. He's the newcomer that we expect the most out of right now. We've got a couple other guys. Joe Miller's going to get some time as a backup point guard. Jimmy Anderson is going to get a little bit of time at the 3 and the 4 spot. He's coming off a sprained thumb, so he can't catch the ball really with his left hand. And Eddie Adesiden is going to give us some backup time at the wing. An explosive 5'10", 5'11" kid who's got a huge potential ahead of him. We just don't know how quickly he's going to develop. And so we're just there's a lot of questions right now. It's exciting in that we think we have a lot of talent, and a lot of depth. We can really pound the ball inside with Cody and Kenny Adam and Matt and Diego Ferro off the bench, and so we've got some size this year, but it's going to be a lot different style of basketball than we've played in the past, and we've got to figure that out a little bit.
Now you have K-State Salina coming in tonight. I hear their head coach has Sterling connections. Will you talk a little bit about what to expect to see from them?
Yeah, Cameron played here. Boy, it would be about 6 years ago, and a sharp young man who's started a club program there, and they've got former college players, guys who haven't played. It's just they want to become, I think, a collegiate team eventually, and they built a brand new physical fitness facility over there with a nice gym, and so he's just trying to build a schedule. We wanted to get into our gym this year and play in front of our fans before we got to our Warrior Classic. Last year that was our first home game, and so this was an opportunity to help him out, get them a game, get us at home. Really don't know a whole lot what to expect. I think this is their first game ever, even if it is just an exhibition, so they're going to play hard. They don't have any regulations on when they can practice. I know they were practicing a lot last spring, so we're hoping they're going to give us a pretty good test, but really don't know what to expect other than we're going to go out, work on our stuff, and not worry too much about what they're doing other than how we're going to defend it.
And for those who have not really seen a lot of Sterling basketball before, what kind of style of play should they expect to see from the Warriors tonight?
We're really hoping this year to get back to where we were 2 years ago. For 3 years, really, we were in the top, 2 years particularly, we were in the top 5 of the nation, defensive field goal percentage, points allowed, and we did that not by holding the ball, but by just really getting after it in the defensive end. And I felt last year that was probably the biggest disappointment, is we didn't guard the way we've guarded in the past. We think everything starts from there. We don't believe defense wins games, because you can't win a game if you don't score, but we do believe great defense will give you a chance to win every game, and that's where it starts for us. And so you should see us getting after it. We'll probably play a lot more zone this year with the length that we have, but there should be a defensive intensity. When we were real pleased when we played our alumni the other night. We held them scoreless for 13 minutes, and that to me spoke a lot of our guys wanting to get back to what's made us strong in the past. This year you're going to see a lot more of us pounding it inside. We've got 5 or 6 bigs. We think we're deeper inside than most of our KCAC opponents, and while the frontline starters might match up pretty well, when both teams have to go to the bench, we think we have a decided advantage. And especially without Zach, we're going to be pounding it in. And when we get Zach back, we should have a little bit more of an inside-outside threat that's going to be pretty dangerous. And at the end of the day, it's all about competing hard, about playing hard, not giving up, and hopefully you'll see that in our team tonight.
All right, now the basketball season's been known to be quite a marathon, and just a few weeks ago you did run in a marathon. How has that helped prepare you for this season?
Basically, it helps me keep the weight off. That's the reason I do it. My son actually ran it, and he was doing some training this summer, so I was running, somewhat to support him and to get back in shape. It does, the one thing with the marathon is you learn it's not about what happens that day, it's about what happens in the 4 months previous to it. And in basketball, we say a lot, everybody wants to win come game day. Does everybody want to win when it comes to the second hour of practice sometime in November? Does everybody want to win when it means coming in early and getting some extra shots in? And that's where we really find out which of our kids are tough and which of our kids really want to win. Do they put the preparation in? And I think that's the biggest lesson for me. If you've done the preparation, the marathon goes pretty smooth. If you haven't trained, no matter how hard you want to do it, it's pretty painful. And so right now, these practices, these preseason games and exhibitions are so important to us to put the work in ahead of time so that when the game comes, we're prepared.
All right, thank you for taking this time with me this afternoon, and good luck this evening.
Thanks, Hans.